Hey folks, and welcome to Waking House Yoga with Jane. I'd like to offer you a bit of a challenge as we enter our practice today, and that is to reconsider what it is that you've thought was the purpose of practicing yoga. For many of us, that is either as a fitness routine or as some stretching to de-stress. What I'd like to suggest is that practicing yoga is much, much more. It is the channel by which you have an opportunity to increase your spiritual awareness by being with your body just as it is in this moment, just as it is. And beyond that, it is an opportunity for you to tune in to what your body and therefore your whole being intuitively needs in your movement practice. So may we take that possibility into the practice that we'll share today. Go ahead and find a pillow or a blanket or something. We'll start in seated. So grab that and then let's get started. Okay, let's begin here in a comfortable seat. So if you have that pillow, blanket, or bolster, please place it underneath your hips just to elevate them slightly above your knees. And then allow yourself to arrive here on the space of your mat in the experience of your body. Allowing the shades of your eyes to close as you feel ready. And starting to notice the sensation of air as it moves into your nostrils and as it moves out. And then place your right hand on your chest over the space of your heart. Just notice the warmth of your hand against your chest. And then as your breath begins to deepen, notice how it feels as you fill with air and your chest rises beneath your palm. And how it feels as you empty of air and your chest falls beneath your palm. And let us take several centering breaths here with all of our awareness and the sensation where our palm meets our chest. Let yourself receive anything that might be coming up for you. Thoughts, emotions, ideas. Whatever arises, breathe it in more deeply into yourself as you inhale. And watch it leave your body as you exhale. And if nothing's coming up, just watch your breath. And if something sticky arises for you and it's not easily letting go, let it be with you then. Let us hold here our attention in the space of our heart and let it guide us through the rest of our practice as we endeavor to move our bodies in such a way that will honor us in order that we might find deeper and truer alignment with the source of our being and with our true self in God. the shades of your eyes and allow your hand to part from your heart, lowering it down to your mat. We'll start to side bend a little bit here, and as we enter that, just begin to shift or flow a little bit from one side to the other. Okay, waking up the area of your sacrum as you think about your sacrum. And then as you think about the length of your spine, and with this little movement, just notice if your hands might like to join you. Your arms and your hands would like to flow with you. You're at home in a safe space, so can you let yourself do something that might feel weird? Okay, we'll let this grow as we start to shift from one side to the other. Okay, so you'll side bend to one side, extend the opposite arm up and overhead. As you exhale, come to center. So inhale, side bend, sweep your arm. Feel the air filling the space of your ribs as your side body gets very full. Exhale, come to center, and inhale, other side. And exhale to center. Find the rhythm of your own breath. And then if it honors you, you might let this become more fluid. You might even let go of your breath. So if it feels more natural for you to unsync your movement from your breath, feel freedom in that. Where do you feel the most? If you feel something sticky or tight, stay there with it and breathe into that space. Let yourself have fully and completely what it is that you need in this moment and throughout our practice. I'm really leaning into the expansion of my rib cage, feeling the length of my spine and the spaces between my ribs grow. Just a couple more times either side. Come to center. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, circle them down by your sides and then back to your heart. Inhale, shoot your hands up toward the sky. Exhale, lower them, circle them down and then back to your heart. 2 more times. Resist this a little bit so there's a lot of sensation through your shoulders and even into your upper arms. We'll do it one more time. Hands to your heart, thumbs press against your sternum. 2 breaths. Fill your body completely as you inhale. Empty completely as you exhale. Beautiful. Roll over onto your hands and your knees. Set your pillow or your blanket or your bolster aside. And then just begin to shift your hips. Let's start just from side to side. Waking up the joints of your hips. Really imagining, really visualizing that space in your body as you send your awareness there. I'm naturally starting to invite a circular movement. Okay, sending my hips back toward my heels and then circling toward the top of my mat to one side, back to my heels and circling to the other side. Maybe that would feel good for you too. Let your breath flow naturally. let's begin to shift the body forward. So as you circle from one side to the other, allow your body to lengthen out so that you come almost to a half plank, your hips starting to descend toward the earth. If this causes you pain, do something that doesn't. All right, come to neutral. Drop your belly, lift your gaze, and then round your spine. Round, round, round. Feel your breath in the back of your body. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine. Pay attention to the space between your ribs. Inhale. Exhale, one more time. Curl your toes under if they aren't. Take one more inhale as you drop your belly and lift your gaze, and then exhale to downward facing dog. Arrive here. What do you need when you come to down dog? Can you start to notice that you always need the same thing? Can you give that to yourself? Every time I come into down dog, I lift one leg and then I lift the other. What is it that you need when you arrive here? With both feet lowered, inhale to roll the body forward like a wave. Find plank pose, adjust one time if you need to. And then exhale, lift the hips to the sky. Open your sitting bones like a book. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, roll back. One more time, roll forward. And roll back. Lift your right leg to the sky. With your exhale, step your right foot forward beside your right hand and lower your back knee. Inhale, rise up. You're in a low lunge. With your exhale, let's interlace our fingers behind us and open the space of our heart. Oh, yes. Be with whatever you're experiencing here. For me, it's intense opening. And every time I open, I consider the shape I take of reception. Every time I open, I'm more able to deeply receive. As you exhale, release your hands, and then inhale, reach them up overhead, slight back bend. Exhale, lower your hands to your hips, hold on to your hips, rest your hands on your hips. With your inhale, stand up and pivot so that you're now in a wide leg stance. Yeah, inhale, lift your hands to the sky. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale your hands to your hips. Let's try this pivot one more time. Pivot back to your low lunge. My right leg is forward. Inhale, stand up. Let's pivot to the left so that your left leg is now forward and lower your back knee. Low lunge, left side. Inhale, rise up, hands lift to the sky, and then lower them behind your back. Open your heart. Take 3 long, deep breaths here. Letting your awareness be in the space of your chest. Hugging your belly button into your spine, feeling your inner thighs engaged to really give you a firm foundation in this shape. One more big deep breath. And as you exhale, release your hands, reach them to the sky, little back bend. Exhale, hands to your heart, lift your back knee, pivot to your wide leg straddle. Pivot to your low lunge, other side with your right leg forward. And then let's flow here. So inhale as you pivot to your wide leg straddle, and then pivot to your low lunge, left leg forward. Inhale, wide leg straddle. Exhale, low lunge, right side. Let's find something to do with our hands that feels right to you. For me, I'm just letting them flow naturally. I'm letting my breath flow naturally. Okay, so just moving at your own pace, pivoting to wide leg straddle and then to low lunge. One side to the other. And then you might start to pick up a little bit of speed if you're wanting to grow heat. If you're feeling an intense energy and you feel like you can shift more quickly from one side to the other, or take it really slow and just honor where you're at. I'm naturally yoking with my breath and finding an inhale each time I rise to my wide leg stance, and then an exhale when I lower into my lunge. So a few more times on each side. Complete this equally on both sides, and then we'll meet together in our wide leg stance. And in my wide leg stance, I'll inhale to bring both hands up and overhead, and then exhale, swan dive forward. Start to shift from one side to the other. I'm feeling a lot of heat. I'm feeling strong. Notice how you're feeling in your body right now as we shift from side to side. Come to center. Drop all of your weight into your right foot. Bend your right knee. Lift your right heel off of your mat as your left leg lengthens and you pivot onto the heel of your left foot. Okay? With your inhale, rise into your wide leg stance, and then pour weight into your left foot and sink in to your left knee, bending onto the other side. Inhale to rise up, wide leg stance, and exhale to bend in to your right side, and then switch. Yeah, find an inhale each time you lift your hips in your wide leg stance, and then exhale as you sink down. Yeah. One more time on each side. Come to your wide leg forward fold. Let go of your head and neck. Walk your hands over to your right foot and bow in to your right knee. Welcoming a sensation through the side of your left hip and an intense stretch in the back of your right hamstring. Be with those feelings with all of your awareness. Breathe into the space where you feel the most. Walk back to center. Inhale here, lift to a flat spine. Exhale, bow forward, walk to the other side. Bow into your left leg now. Notice where you feel something. Notice if it's different than the other side. Notice, but don't judge it. Pivot both of your feet now toward one end of your mat. It doesn't matter which one, but with your leading foot, and step forward so that you are now in a forward fold facing one end of your mat. Deeply bend your knees and rest your torso on your thighs. Let go of your head, neck, and your shoulders. Next time that you inhale, rise to a flat back. And then exhale, bow forward. Inhale, reverse swan dive to standing, hands reach overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward, step one foot back and then the other plank pose. Internally rotate your elbows. Hug your belly button to your spine. Stay here breathing. 3 more breaths. Lower your hips slightly so that you're one line from the crown of your head to your heels. Press through all 10 fingers to relieve pressure from your wrists. And then take 1 more big deep inhale. As you exhale, lower to the earth. With your inhale, lift your gaze, lift your heart. Come up as deeply as you can. Lift all the way to upward facing dog if it honors your body. And then as you exhale, lower back to the earth. Let's take 1 full breath cycle here with your forehead contacting your mat. Next time you inhale, lift your gaze and lift your heart. Find upward facing dog if you can. And then exhale to the earth. 1 full breath. Next time you inhale, rise up 1 more time. And with your exhale, curl your toes under, press your sitting bones back. Walk your hands toward the top of your mat and lower your forehead so that we're in dolphin pose. Your hips are over your knees. Let your attention be in your spine. Noticing any sensation that you feel there. As you invite this natural curve to return. Inhale and slowly start to walk up onto your hands and your knees. Send your right leg out behind you and lift it off of your mat. Just pulse here as you lift your heel toward the earth. Okay, starting to strengthen our glutes and our low back. Creating a little bit more heat. Burning off whatever it is that's still sticking with us. If at the beginning of your practice you had a sticky thought or feeling, let this heat that we create here in our practice, burn it up. All right, inhale with your leg long, come to stillness, and then exhale, tuck knee to nose. Inhale, send it behind you, lengthen your leg. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, tuck. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, tuck your knee and then plant your sole of your foot beside your right hand. With your inhale, lift your gaze and lift your heart. So you're in low lunge, gaze lifted. Exhale, press the sitting bones back, straighten your front leg. Yeah, lower your sitting bones as much as you want toward your heel. And then inhale, bend into your knee, lift your gaze. And exhale, straighten your leg, press back. Yeah, 2 more times. Inhale, press forward, lift your back knee. Step your front foot back, downward facing dog, lift your hips. As you exhale, roll the body forward, plank pose. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, roll the body forward. Inhale, lift your hips. With your exhale, lower your knees back toward the earth. Send your left leg out behind you now, straighten it. Flex your foot, and then pulse your heel toward the sky. Internally rotate your elbows and press into all 10 fingers, taking that pressure off of your wrist. Breathe into the heat. Let your attention be in the place where you feel the most. For me, this is my glutes. And it's also my low back. Okay, so I'm sitting with my attention in that space of my body as I build heat there. Come to stillness. Inhale, exhale, tuck your knee to your nose. Inhale, lengthen out, and exhale, tuck. 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen your leg behind you. Exhale, step your left foot forward so that you're in your low lunge. Inhale to lift your gaze and your heart. With your exhale, straighten your left leg, press your sitting bones back. Bow. Inhale, press forward and lift up. Exhale, press back. Find your own rhythm. One more time. With your inhale, press forward, lift your gaze, lift your back knee, and then step your front foot back for downward facing dog. Deeply bend your knees. Enjoy the sensation. And from this space, lower one knee toward your mat, not to touch it, just lower it. Lift it back up and then lower the other one. Okay, just noticing the sensation of this experience. All right, inhale. Your exhale, roll forward, plank pose, 3 breaths here. Internally rotate the elbows, press through your fingertips, and hug your belly button to your spine. 1 line, crown of your head to your heels. If you need to, slightly lower your hips. Breathe into the alignment of this shape, opening every channel in your body as blood and oxygen flow through all channels of your being. 1 more long, deep inhale. Exhale, lower to the earth. Inhale, lift your gaze, lift your heart. And with your exhale, find hands and knees. Let's circle our hips a few times in both directions, or just find any organic movement that honors you here. Really consider how you feel. Consider how your body feels. Is it hot? Are you sweating? Is your heartbeat elevated? When you feel complete in this, walk your knees toward your hands and cross your ankles so you can come back into your seat, and then stretch out one leg then the other so that we're in our seated wide leg straddle. Flex your feet and shift off the flesh of your sitting bones. With your inhale, extend your arms to the sky. Turn over your left foot and then bow to the earth. Face moves toward your knee. And then inhale to center, hands overhead, and exhale, bow to the other side. Your hands may touch your feet. Inhale, rise up, center. Exhale, bow to the other side. Take 1 full breath cycle. Inhale, center, hands overhead. Exhale, bow other side. 1 full breath. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bow to the other side. Come to stillness here. Doesn't matter which side that you're on right now. Just arriving in your forward fold. If you're holding your foot, you might allow your hands to lower down on either side of your leg. Adjust your torso if you need to so that your torso is facing the tips of your toes. And then let yourself descend into the stretch, willing to be with it however intense it is. And noticing this subtle undulation. Each time that you inhale, watching your body lift slightly as it fills with air. And as you exhale, descend and empty. Never in complete stillness. Not in our practice. not in our life, not as any being on earth. Aware that the whole world is constantly vibrating. I feel like I could stay here a very long time, but we will slowly start to rise up. Reach your hands overhead one more time. Look to the sky. Turn your torso to face your opposite toes on the other side. And then as you feel ready, lower down into your fold. Bow over your leg. And start to sink here more deeply into your inner landscape as we sink more deeply into the fascia and into the connective tissues of our body. Notice if you're starting to let go a little bit more, if your body's giving a little bit, letting you start to sink even deeper. Continue your subtle undulations as you fill with air and as you empty. Soften everywhere that you can. And slowly, slowly, as you're ready, start to rise up. Draw in both feet, allowing the soles of your feet to meet in front of you. Shift off the flesh of your sitting bone. This is butterfly. Hold your ankles and close the shades of your eyes. Notice the feeling of the soles of your feet meeting. Lengthen through your spine, crown of your head extends toward the sky. Tuck your chin just a little bit, just ever so slightly. And navigate the alignment in your own body as you notice where your spine feels straight, where you feel open. And then as you feel ready, we'll bow forward. And you may maintain the length of your spine so that you only hinge forward far enough that you can keep a straight spine. Or it might honor you to bow further and to let yourself really melt into this forward fold. Maybe adjusting where your hands rest, where your arms rest. Taking an inward dive ever deeper. Maybe now really letting go. And if you're in a deep forward fold, you might start to watch the air in the back of your body as it fills your rib cage and expands the length of your back. As it empties of air, and as you descend even deeper into your fold and therefore into your being, we're looking for our edge, for the deepest depth that we can go without pain or fear.
being ever present with the experience of your body right now in this moment, with yourself just as you are, with this moment just as it is. If you need to stay here longer, let yourself stay. Or if you feel ready, slowly begin to rise up.
Cross your ankles so that you can return to a comfortable seat. Make any small adjustments. And if you need to release that fold in a special way, I'm finding myself shifting from side to side, pressing into one knee and the other. Okay, what do you need right now to close your practice? And it might be that you would like to come into a supine position for a traditional Shavasana. I extend that invitation to you warmly and encourage you to stay there as long as you need, clicking off or pausing this video to allow for true integration, or to join me for 5 silent breaths as we close out in a space that is close to our heart. Okay, so just rest your palms comfortably on your thighs. Close the shades of your eyes. Sink down into your heart. Together, let's breathe in the silence. Draw your palms together at heart center. Touch your thumbs to your sternum. Bow your head. And receive my blessing as I pour out on you love, as I recognize you for your efforts to be with yourself and to seek your spirit. And be blessed, brother and sister. Amen and namaste.